LaRue County, the Hawks, the land of Lincoln. But in 2012, our guest here today said, Abraham Lincoln, I'm the #1 wrestler from LaRue County. Get out of here. Sir, if you would, tell us who you are.
I'm Bernard Ray. Yeah, I wrestled 182 here at LaRue County and won state in 2012, obviously.
Yep, and you have a phenomenal performance. We'll talk about the video. Of course, we have the 2012 state finals match video and the medal ceremony. But man, LaRue County, we got the history we're going to talk about here just in a second. Man, they're a when you think of wrestling dominated schools, you think Campbell County up northern Kentucky, you think Union County down in the western part of the state, Wayne County down in the southern, but LaRue County kind of holds down central Kentucky. I mean, you guys have it going on there in LaRue County. So what gets you into wrestling? What's the drawing factor that brings you into the sport?
Well, I guess you'd kind of say I had a little bit of a attitude problem, and Gary Canner, he saw that. I guess it was my 5th or 6th grade year playing football, and he went to my dad and said, boy, he needs to wrestle.
Yeah.
And started that year and been doing it ever since.
No, I get it, man. And the number of guys over the years that we've done, I don't have the exact number in front of me, but I'm going to imagine we're close to 270, 280 state championship review videos here on the channel. And I would say probably 30 to 40% have said something to the effect of, man, I was a wild, rambunctious youngster, or like you said, had a little bit of a attitude problem, and I just needed something to channel that energy. I needed something to channel my inner, what I had going on. And lo and behold, a wrestling match showed up, and here we are talking about my state championship or multiple state championships, whoever it may be. So you get into about 5th or 6th grade, correct?
Yes, sir.
And if I'm not mistaken, that would have been probably what, around 05, 06, 04, something to that effect?
I started in 2005, and the season ended
Okay.
in 2006.
I got you. And, let's go over LaRue County's history, because as a elementary school kid, man, coming in, LaRue County's program is rolling. LaRue County, you talked about Coach Canner, Gary Canner. He was a magician when it come to duels.
Yes.
LaRue County has 5 team state championships at the state duels: 1999, 2001, 2006, 2007, and 2011. So you were probably a part of that 2011 team, weren't you?
Yes, sir. And I even got to weigh in on the 2017.
Oh, did you really?
Grade. Yes, sir.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, man. And we done a video with Mike Bancamper from Campbell County, and he even brought up Gary by name. He's like, you didn't want to wrestle Gary Canner in a duel. He could pull tricks off his hat. He could bump kids around. And next thing you know, you were down 30 team points before the duel even started. Like, what happened? What did he just do to me? Well, how did this happen? The LaRue County team has 2 state runner-ups at the high school state tournament, 2001 and 2005. Not a lot of schools can say they have that kind of record with the state duels and coming in runner-up. LaRue County, as of this filming, we're filming this on the 10th of January, 2024. They have 11 individual state champions. Jason Dietrich got the ball rolling there in LaRue, 1998 and 1999. Jim Shaw, 1999. Todd Allen, 2001. Scott Cooper, 2002 and 2003. And Scott was voted most outstanding wrestler in 03. This next guy, I'm not sure if we count him or not. Do we count Ozzie Parker? Does he count?
I guess you kind of got to.
Okay, Ozzie, you get a pass. So we're going to consider you here. Ozzie Parker, 2006. Darwin Perez, 2007. Drew Newberry in 2010. Be looking out for that video. Wink, wink, if you know what I'm saying. you in 2012, and then Braden Horton in 2022. And while we're on this, Jason Dietrich's, Jim's, Scott Cooper's, and Ozzy's are already on the channel. And if you have the 2001 video of Todd Allen or the 2007 video of Darwin Perez, reach out to me. I'd love to have it so we can get up with those guys. We've talked to them. They're itching to do their video. We just don't have the footage of it. There was a couple years we just not been able to find yet. So if you would reach out, we'll get it converted. We'll do what we got to do and get them on the channel, because we can get all 11, like I said, as it stands now, all 11 of LaRue County state champions, we can get them if we just had the footage. So you wrestle, was it what, LaRue County Elementary? Because I'm not familiar. Was it like all the schools together like a club? Did you have like workout with the high school? How does it go there?
Well, when I started in sixth grade, I was already past elementary. So I went from not wrestling straight into middle school.
I got you.
Yes.
And did because some teams, just the way that the bus schedule runs, they can drop kids off at the high school, or like the way that the mat rooms are, they're big enough. Did you guys run middle school and high school together? Did you have separate practices or?
Well, back then, that's when we were in the community rec center, and the middle school was on the east side of the building and the high school was on the west side of the building. There was a row of tables right down the middle that separated us.
I got you. And I guess Coach Cantor's walking around, observing it all, keeping everybody in check, right?
Yes, sir. Back then, that's whenever he had Coach Eric Hughes with him. And my goodness, them two together, they were vocal. And my goodness, they were just powerhouses, ready to go every second of practice. There was no stop.
I can believe that. And, like we talked about Jim, him and his brother Chris are, of course, I guess they've kind of retired, if you will, even though they're close to my age, they've kind of retired from officiating, but you had two really good officials there in the county. So that always helps kind of stop in, maybe referee wrestle offs if you had them. Sometimes I know I've done that a few times for some schools in my area. But let's go over your state tournament run in high school. And I bring this up because we know we're in the middle of wrestling season. I've been to I think it's 12 meets already since November. We started the season. And every single meet, a coach will come up, a parent will come up, and they'll say, we set our youngsters down and watch your review videos, or we have family time watching your review videos. We're new to the sport. We're trying to learn, watching the rule videos, watching this. And the sport is growing, I believe. As it stands now, we're at 138 high school teams. I couldn't even tell you the amount of middle school or elementary club teams. I would have to imagine close to 300. That's a guess, a shot in the dark, but that's an educated guess. So I'm saying all that to say making it to the state tournament is an accomplishment in itself. It is. It truly is. As an eighth grader like you did in 2008, we're going to talk about, and kids, listen to what I'm telling you and listen to what Bernard tells you about making it there is, yes, you may not win. Yes, you may get, tech fall, pin, whatever, but you're gaining valuable experience that you can use, not just at the state tournament, but every other wrestling meet that you go to. And here's why I say that. 2008, as an eighth grader, 160 pounds, you go 3-3. So you've already got 6 matches of state tournament experience at the dungeon under your belt. That's saying a lot. It truly is. 2009, as a freshman, 160 pounds, you go 2-2. So you've got 10 matches in 2 years of experience. Now, why did I bring that up? Right, because you were there as an eighth grader. That's an accomplishment. But in 2010, 189 pounds as a sophomore, you come in 3rd place. Now, I talked about experience, and this is one of the things I love about doing the research is, yeah, you may have lost in the championship flight, but oh my goodness, sometimes how that second time around, that redemption can be so sweet, right?
Yes, sir.
In the quarters, you drop a 7-5 decision to Evan Decker from Louisville Southern. Okay, that's fine. You drop down to the consolation rounds. Guess what happens? You meet back up with Evan Decker from Louisville Southern. And this time, you win. You get a 5-3 decision. So he gets you with a 7-5. You beat him with a 5-3 for that third and fourth place. That had to feel good, right?
Oh yeah, it felt just rejuvenating at that point, you know.
Yeah. And you know, there's no way to give a true example of what you learned in those 10 matches, but it's just the whole experience. Being there in that arena, the crowd being right on top of you, the craziness, everybody from teams you've never seen, people you've never seen, refs you've probably never seen before are there, and you're just taking it all in, and you don't have that deer in the headlights look. You don't have that, baby deer legs. Oh my God, the best move I had was a handshake. I've been here before. I'm glad to be here, but I'm here to win this thing or at least make it onto the podium. And that's what you done, man, as a sophomore. So those 10 matches, that experience matters. 2011, 189 pounds as a junior. You come in third place. You get to, I believe it was the second round. I don't have it wrote down, but I think it was the second round. You drop a 6-4 decision to the returning state champion, Brandon Barnett from Harrison County. Of course, Brandon's review videos on the channel. So, you get a tough draw right out of the gate, and you come back, though, you wrestle for third place, and it's maybe not what you wanted. I'm sure you probably wanted maybe 1 or 2 spots higher than that, but at least you're not dropping down. You know what I'm saying? You're not going any lower on the podium.
50-0 against Campbell County's Mason Frank, another senior, at 49-7.
Well, I tell you, Dick, if this match is going to be anything like last year's 285 guys, I couldn't tell you.
And coming in as a senior, you've placed third 2 times in a row. You get one more, I don't want to say swing at the plate, but you get one more at bat, man. This is it. You're a senior. The time of wearing that LaRue County blue and white of being a Hawk is winding down. So coming into that senior season, had you done any off season? Had you gone to any camps? Did you know this is my year? Nobody is beating me.
I kind of had the no one's beating me attitude throughout my whole career.
I got you.
But sometimes there's just a better guy.
Yeah.
And but LaRue County, back whenever I was wrestling, we always done a 1 week trip, and we always went to a wrestling camp every year, every summer. And we got to wrestle guys that, if I'm not mistaken, one of our camps, there was guys here that weren't even from the United States.
Yeah,
so we got to see teams from all over the nation, and just got to have our eyes opened to what's actually there in the sport.
Yeah. And that's, I couldn't tell you how many guys that we've done review videos with that have said something to that effect. They got on like a traveling team or like a local area team, and they went to Iowa, Pennsylvania, wherever it may be. Nowadays, kids, follow social media, kids are going every single weekend to like Pigeon Forge, the beach somewhere. There's always a tournament somewhere in the off season. So that experience, and even back, 2012 doesn't seem like that long ago, but it is, 12 years. It don't feel like it, does it?
No, sir. It doesn't.
Even 12 years ago, the wrestling tournaments, you would have to travel a pretty good distance to get some of those, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah.
And
My senior year, we went down to Dalton, Georgia, and we wrestled. Well, I'm pretty sure it was all 5 years that I was wrestling varsity. We wrestled and were ranked nationally in a little bitty hometown school like LaRue County.
yeah, and that's I I don't remember who it. Maybe it was Jim Shaw. Maybe it was Chris. It was somebody with the LaRue County program. They told me they kind of brought it up in conversation, and I don't remember like the numbers, but they did say that you guys were nationally ranked, and I was like, that doesn't surprise me. That does not surprise me one iota. And man, that just it can be done at LaRue County. Poor, bless their hearts, poor little Hodgenville don't have much going on. No, hey, we can wrestle here, right? We can, just because we're not, a big city, we're not from whatever part of the state, we're not whatever. There's nothing that says in the rule book, nothing about the laws of wrestling that says you got to be from a certain part of the world to be good at wrestling. When I was in LaRue County and done Jim's videos and Ozzy's and Jason's, kind of walked around the city, kind of reminded me of my little hometown here where I'm from in Johnson County. And it's, without going into too much detail, Coach Jim Matney, rest in peace to Coach Matney, he has just a phenomenal pregame football speech he gave in 2015. And he ends it with, don't you let anybody come in here, especially from a big city, be able to walk out of here thinking they're better people than you are. And so many people from the smaller counties, the smaller little cities in Kentucky, being from there, it's so, I don't want to say gratifying, but I know that maybe we don't always get a fair shake. We don't always get our just due. We get looked down upon. We get looked as, bless their hearts, feed the children type of mentality. Oh, they're from the eastern part of the state. Oh, they're from, poor little LaRue County. And that's not the way that we see ourselves. We see ourselves as, we can do this. We're going to do it. We're going to be nationally ranked. We're going to have the best wrestling YouTube channel in existence. And that's what we've done. You were able to do it on the mat. I've been able to do it with a little video camera and a little bit of an idea to become the largest wrestling YouTube channel for high school going. And kids hear that no matter what part of the state you're from, how much money your parents or whoever is your caretakers have or they don't have. That doesn't mean you can't do it. Doesn't mean you can't be a state champion. Doesn't mean you can't be a YouTuber. Right?
Oh yeah.
And so enough of that, man. Let's talk about your 2012 senior season at 182 pounds. And I was doing this and I was like, man, he's wrestled 189 pounds as a sophomore and junior, but now he's down 7 pounds. Were you wrestling up at 189? Did you have to cut to 182? Talk us through that.
Well, I wrestled 160 my 8th grade year and my freshman year, and my dad just looked at me and pretty much said, hey, quit cutting weight. You're hurting yourself. And he went to Coach Gary Canner, and I'll be darned, I wasn't cutting weight anymore.
Yeah.
So
no, I get it. So when you wrestled in 2010 and 2011 at 189, were you like in the 170s or 180? Like where were you at there? Do you remember?
I was about 173 pounds all the way from my 2010 year to my senior year. I may have bulked up a little bit in my senior year, but that there's all because of Adam Lindsay, our weight training coach.
I got you. No, that's like I said, I was wanting to, because that year, the 2012 year, we moved from the dungeon in Frankfort to the horse park in Lexington, and the weight classes changed. So the next closest class to 189 in 2012 would have been 195. And I was like, well, I'm going to make sure to ask him about that. So you start off the state tournament that year with Collie Taylor out of Louisville Doss. You win that by a fall, 1 minute and 1 second. Second round, you're wrestling Sam Steele from Boone County. You win that by a major decision, 17-3, and Sam goes on to get 8th place. The quarters, you're wrestling Zach Nadeker from Oldham County. You win that by a 7-4 decision. Zach goes on to get 7th place. You get to the semis, you're wrestling Will Tompkins from St. Xavier, and you win that by a 13-5 decision, and Will goes on to get 3rd. So you wrestled the 3rd, 7th, and 8th place wrestlers on your way to the finals, man. You had a pretty easy bracket, didn't you?
Well, I'm telling you, I had my hands full with
No,
Zach
I
Nadiger.
was kind of.
That there was Zach Nadiger. He was a scrambler, and I wasn't much of a top rider, but I took Zach down, and my goodness, it was a fight to just get my 2 points.
I can believe that. I can believe that. It's in doing this, all that we have are I just have the finals bit. I don't have the complete video of every single state final or state tournament match that year. And I like that 7-4, I was actually going to bring that up because that's, most of yours, like your pen, you had 2 majors right there. It's all the quarters, man. That quarterfinals, that's some of the best wrestling of the whole tournament.
Yes, it really is.
Because it's usually on that Friday evening, the last bouts of the evening, everybody's juiced. You win your first 2, you take a little bit of a break, you come back, they play the whatever, Enter Sandman, whatever it is. We're now starting the quarterfinals. And you're like, yeah. So you're in the finals against John Conley from Johnson Central. And about that year, Johnson Central had 3 wrestlers back to back in the finals. JJ Jude at 170, which JJ wins it. John Conley at 182, and then Sam Preston at 195 pounds. Of course, Sam comes up a little bit short as well. But man, I didn't get to make it to this state tournament. I had knee surgery. Like, I think it was on the Monday of the state tournament week, and I was on crutches and I didn't go. So we watched it on the iHigh on the streaming, and it was the whole 2012. There was some great wrestling that 2012 year. You had Austin Myers at 220. I mean, you just had some his brother Stephen that we've done, both of those guys we've done review videos with. There's some absolutely phenomenal wrestling top to bottom there in 2012. John Fahey was there at, I forget, like 130, I believe was his weight, but just some phenomenal wrestling, man. And we are going to pull up has it been a while since you've seen this?
It's actually been a pretty good while.
Okay. Yeah. And of course, like I said, we got the finals match complete and the medal ceremony. So let's get this party started, man. Let's go. You're right there facing this, putting on your ankle band, saying a little prayer, I believe. You got Jeremy Callan on the whistle. Mike Ford is the assistant. Man, you've got some muscle mass in your upper body, man.
That's all Adam Lindsay right there. I was a string bean first.
Grab my water bottle. Now, of course, you're in that blue singlet. John's in the white with the gold stripe down the side. Who's in your corner here? Do you remember?
Gary Kammer and Eddie Payton.
I got you. Do you have a lot of family in the crowd?
Yes, sir. It was plumb filled up with my family there.
I got you. No, that's the way it should be. I mean, it really should. If you make it to this far, state finals, and your family's able, if they're not sick or just in a complete opposite state, across the side of the globe, then they should be there supporting you. There it is. You go down, and I remember watching that, and I remember because I was officiating then, and I actually blew it out, and Jeremy made the exact same call. I was like, good call, Jeremy, good call. Even watching it, getting ready to cut this down. There it is. Shoot in, man. You got to hold that leg. John's fighting it. Take him down. Get your 2. Now, you said you weren't much of a top.
No,
Were you
sir.
better like on just taking down release or?
I took people down, let them go, and if I could get them on their back from the air,
Mhm.
that's right there's where a lot of my pins actually come from. I was terrible at turning people, as you can see right here.
And you're a senior. You get reversed right there, but you're a senior. Place third twice. You get your standing reversal. There it is. So the score is 4-2. You kind of know what you're good at. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason to go in and try something that you're not good at or change your game plan. Hey, let's stick with what got us to the dance, right?
Yes, sir.
So he defers. You're going to take down. Were you pretty explosive in coming up, or were you looking just to?
I was typically explosive. If I couldn't get to my feet, I was going to Granby. And right here, I kind of shot myself in the foot on that one. But he was loaded up real heavy on that left side.
No, and that was an excellent technique right there, man. I mean,
I thought I was going to hit that barrel roll right off the whistle, but he kind of shifted right there at the exact moment I went to hit it.
that's usually the way it goes, ain't it? Plane gets messed up. Like, why'd you move that way? I wasn't expecting you to move like that.
Action and reaction.
Are you trying for like a cradle right there? You're under his leg, over his head, going for a cradle?
Sir. Yes, sir. Probably would have been better off just cutting him like I had been doing all year.
Mm-hmm. Nice ride right there, man. So right there, you cut him, gets his one. Nothing yet, nothing yet, nothing yet. Nice lift in return right there. And to that, people that are new to the sport or whatever, there's a difference between a slam that's called illegal slam and a good mat return. And that was a good mat return. You got 282-pound men out there wrestling. Whenever you land on the mat, it's going to make a noise. But just because it makes a noise doesn't mean it's a slam. That's wrestling. All right, so at the end of the period, it's your choice. Or no, I'm sorry, his choice. That's my bad. My fault. He's going to take down. Did you have was Coach Canner saying cut him, let him up, or was you thinking just to cut him? And
well, typically about right there, I'm looking at Coach Canner and saying, hey, let's go neutral.
Yeah. Because whenever he stood up, I figured that you guys kind of had ESP going, hey, Coach, let me let him up right here.
Yes, I didn't like starting on top. Coach Canner knew it, and he pretty much let me stand him up anytime I wanted him.
Nice job, nice sprawl. There it is. Do you guys call that a bowling ball right there? What you just done? Pass
It's
by?
just a shuck by.
Shuck, okay. That's the thing about wrestling is depends on what part of the world you're from. Different name for the same technique.
Oh yeah.
Is this the first time you'd wrestled, John?
Yes, sir.
And that's, Kentucky's such a big state as far as just like the way we're spread out in LaRue County. Unless it was at the state duels or something like that, I can't imagine Jim Matney and Gary Canner wanting to wrestle each other, kind of hide what they got. And
That's
he
the
goes
first
for a throw
takedown
there.
I give up my whole senior year. The only
Really?
one. Yes, sir. Man, I got a little rough.
Yeah. Um, but, you know, Gary Cantor and Jim Matney, I can imagine they want to show their hand to each other and save it for something like this. So yeah, I can see it being a little uneasy. Nice roll through, wrestling somebody that you've never seen before. When it counts, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And all the chips are on the table.
Oh, yeah. But we got to get that first time wrestling somebody jitters out of our system whenever we were traveling out of state and wrestling teams that were ranked nationally.
Yeah.
But we got to get a lot of them jitters out real quick.
No, I get it. And that's one of the good things about, like you said, traveling every year, seeing different teams. You win that match by a final score of 10-6. So great performance. And there's Zach, I believe. Yeah. More. I'm not sure this guy's name from Moore.
I'm not sure either.
Zach, I believe he's now the head coach at Connor High School.
Really?
Yep. There's Coach Wayne Bedetta. Yep. Zach's the coach there now. I think it's Zach Fisher. And there you are, man. Getting ready to take your spot on top of the world. And all that hard work paid off right there. Making that trot to the #1 spot. And that's where this one ends. So it's been a while since you've seen it. You said outside of you winning, of course, does it play out the way you remember it as far as like the periods or the points and all that?
Honestly, I didn't remember a whole lot of the match. I remember getting taken down. I remember that. I remember standing up with 3 to 5 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a great performance. You put on so like I said, an experienced performance. It may have been your first time in the state finals, but like you said, traveling across the country, wrestling teams you've never seen, making it for 5 straight years, getting all that experience. You didn't try anything to me. Now, that was the first time I ever got to see you wrestle. It didn't look like you tried anything that you wasn't comfortable with. You didn't put yourself in any danger or make yourself vulnerable to something you just wanted to try just because you were in the state finals. You wrestled, you had a game plan, you knew what you were good at, you knew what you weren't good at, and you wrestled to your strengths, and that's what you should do.
Oh, yeah. There's no reason to try to get flashy with a guy in the finals, man. Because you get flashy, you get uncomfortable, you're in a bad spot, you lose. And I didn't like
that's a fact, man. That is a absolute fact. So you and you know, kids, we know you're going to watch it. Just listen to what Bernard said. There's no sense in being flashy when you don't need to be. There's no sense in trying to make the TikTok highlights or the Instagram reel highlights. Win the match, post you with a medal. Don't post you getting thrown to your back for trying something that you've never done before, because it can happen. It can happen like that. You said it was the first takedown you gave up all year. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And it happened to you in the state finals. I mean, it wasn't anything that you like done crazy. It was just, it can happen. It can happen. So, man, we've covered A lot of territory, if you will, in this video. A lot of good topics. Do you have anything you'd like to add or say before we wrap this one up?
Oh man, the alumni wrestlers at LaRue County, they were super awesome. They come back in. Chris Shaw, he worked with me my 7th grade year. He put a lot of time in little old me and turned me from a kid that couldn't win half his matches to being undefeated the next year.
Wow.
And then, of course, you got Scott Wheeler, Pat Banks,
Yep.
Jake Ship. Them guys there, they all come back into the wrestling room and they beat the crap out of you. And even Eric Burrell, them guys, they come in and beat the crap out of you. And, hey, man, how'd you do that? Will you stay after practice and show me?
Yeah.
And them guys, they were just so eager for the young guys that wanted to learn, and they would take an hour, 2 hours after practice, and they would work with you. So I hope the rest of the alumni, the younger guys, younger than me, coming through, I hope they stick with that part of the LaRue County tradition.
Yeah, and that's somebody added me, I believe, to the LaRue County alumni page, and I see all kinds of stuff on Facebook of I think there was like maybe a cookout or something to that effect earlier this year, and there's like something going on, like an alumni gathering at like a home wrestling meet coming up. So yeah, man, one of the more active alumni groups in the state. So it's good to see that you the tradition is alive there in LaRue County. The Hawks have it going on, and it's just like I said, when you think of schools and wrestling is their primary sport, Union, Campbell, Wayne, at one time Sheldon Clark, but the school has closed down to Martin County. But LaRue County, man, I would say they're right there because everybody knows LaRue County Hawk wrestling, man. I say it in other videos, but you can tell it's a wrestling meet when you see LaRue County walk in. You can tell the intensity level just raised a few notches when you see the Hawks walk in. And it's just a testament to what Coach Canner was able to build, and guys like yourself and the alumni, even the guys that maybe never even made it on the podium, just keeping that tradition alive in LaRue County is something that is immeasurable, because it in the sport of wrestling, it truly does take a village. It takes alumni, it takes administrators, a good coach. And if you've ever had to set up a wrestling meet, you know what I'm talking about, taking a village. People with trucks, moving the mats, moving them back to the mat room, having people to work the tables, moms or grandmas or sisters running the concession stands, whatever it is, it truly takes a village. And you can tell, I've been officiating this my 18th year. You can go to some schools that have wrestling and they have no support. You can just tell that they're trying to build something, but they don't have what you guys have. They don't have the support staff, the structure that can support something like that. And you can tell the teams that have what you guys have of, this is not our first rodeo. We know how to set our mats up. We know to put the green start line on the right side facing the score table. We know the concession stands need to be here. We know, all this little things that people just don't understand unless you've been there. And the LaRue County Hawks, they have that. They have something special there. So guys, that's all that we have. Thank you all for watching. Greatly appreciate it. Here's who we need from LaRue County. Todd Allen. We need the 2001 video. We've talked to Todd. He wants to do it. We just need his video. Darwin Perez, 2007. We've talked to Darwin. We just need the video. Drew Newberry, like I said, wink, wink, be looking out for that video. And Braden is still in high school. We're going to wait till after the season before he might add another state championship to his resume. If he does, we'll do both. If not, we'll do his 22 video so we can get all the Hawks on the channel, man. That way you guys can have it. The kids can watch it. The alumni can watch it. Everybody associated with Hodgenville, LaRue County can enjoy the videos and hear stories like yourself, man. Guys, thank you all for watching. That's all we got. We'll see you on the mats.